Alright guys, I'm going to teach you how to make the symmetrical triangle arrangement for the floral certification. We're going to start with taping the floral foam into the design bowl. And what you want to do is you want your tape to basically have 50% of the foam in the center and then 25% on either end to equal up to 100%. So I get this taped, I'll show you, just like that. Okay, alright, so we have to start with 9 carnations, and when you pick your first carnation, you want to make sure that you take and you just fluff them, okay, because it's going to make your arrangement look larger and fuller. So we're going to do that. And then you're going to have floral wire, and so your arrangement needs to be 18 inches tall, and your floral wire right here is 18 inches. And so you're going to take from the top of the carnation down, and you're going to cut it at 18. And now I have leaves here, those just fell off, and I'm going to double check, make sure it's about 18. Okay, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to insert it at the back of my floral foam, right behind that back piece of tape, and I want it straight up and down. Okay. Now the next step is carnation 2 and 3, and so what we want to do is you've got to have 2 carnations. We're going to open this guy up, and this one's already pretty open, and I like to lay them like this. You pull that screen down a little bit, and then you just take the floral wire. And we've got floral wire here and floral wire here. That measures 18. Got my design bowl in the center. And so I'm going to cut these guys right here in the middle. So now I should have, I'm going to take just a little bit off. These guys get inserted right behind the front tape, and you want them resting on the bowl. I'm going to push them in. I'm going to use my wire to measure, and I'm about right at 18. Push them in just a little bit more. So my arrangement's at 18. Okay. So now we're going to move to carnation 4 and 5. So as you can see, this one was little again. We're going to open it up. And then we're going to open this one up as well. And a trick on this is these carnations are going to be inserted right here in front of the tape line. So if you tilt this up, you can see the tape line. We're going to insert right up here. But you want to have a triangle, so that bud needs to be within there. So I like to kind of take and measure, but I know, you know, right here, I'm going to cut right here on this node. And I'm just going to use this guy and see, okay. Right now, it's making a fan. If you take and bring that back up, I'm making a fan. And so when I insert them in, I'll have a triangle. I'm going to cut the other one at the same length, and I like to insert these guys at the same time. So I'm going to go right in front of the tape line. And I want a smaller angle to the inside and a larger to the outside. So I'm going to put that one in just a little. And then push this one in just a little. And then we'll do the test. We still have a fan. So we're going to push them in just a little bit more. And so now, if you look, you've got a triangle and a triangle. This one could probably go in just a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 6. And basically what you're going to do here is you want this one above these and below this one. So I like to pull my bowl to the edge of the table to measure, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of cut him down, and I can see that's probably going to work. I've got that node there, and a trick that you can do to help with that node, you can take a floral knife and just shave this guy down just a little bit. Just so I don't make a really big hole in my foam. Remember, fluff the bud. And then this one's a little crooked, and so I'm going to have to insert him more at the front of my tape instead of right here in the middle. So there we go. He's below this one and above these. So that was number 6. Now we're going to move on to 7 and 8. So at the beginning, you should have taken your floral foam and sliced these corners. We're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of some of the stem length, get it out of my way. My buds are nice and open. Okay. And these guys are going to go directly in front of them, but they're, instead of going straight up like this, we want to bring them out because we're trying to get that rounded effect. So I know that they're already a little too long still, so we're going to go ahead and trim them down just a little bit more, and we're doing symmetrical, so we want the same height. That's probably going to work. These leaves are going to be in the way, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. Probably shave a node a little bit, but you have to be careful doing this because it weakens the stem. So just slight shaving, not a whole lot. Okay. And then this one kind of has a natural bend to it, so we want to make sure that we use that into our favor. But directly in front, we're going to go ahead and just insert that one in just a little bit. We'll insert this one in just a little bit to get us started. And you can see they're basically directly in front of the other flowers, but they're still a little bit high. So we're going to push them in just a little bit more. Alright, so now we're going to work with number 9. And this one's pretty short. We're going to go ahead and cut him down. But basically what we're doing here is we want this guy to stick out past these. So if I was to rotate, we're going to look at it from a side view now. You can see that I have one dimension, then we're moving out, and then we're moving out. So on this one, we want him to be out past these guys just a little bit. So that's going to be a little too long because my stem's way back here. So I'm going to cut him down. Make sure he's nice and fluffed up. And I'm going to go ahead, and you don't want to put him up like this. You want him basically straight with the bowl, but this flower's facing down. Now he's facing up. Rest it on the bowl, and then insert it in. But you want to make sure you leave it out to where you have that nice rounded effect to your arrangement. So there is the triangle with the 9 carnations. We have 1, then we move down to 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, some things that you can check for is to make sure you have a long diamond here. You want to take your wire, make sure you're 18 in width, 18 inches in height, and that you have a triangle going in here, and you have a triangle shape going over here. Alright, we're going to move on to leather leaf is our next step. And basically what you're supposed to do with your leather leaf is you want to back every piece of carnation, and you move in the same order that you do the arrangement. You want just a little bitty tip to stick up over the top. You can see him at the top. So I went ahead and cut him down, and you just mirror image. So I'm going to directly insert this right behind carnation number 1, and it supports him. Okay, and then when I pull it up, I've got a little bitty tip up here. So there's piece number 1. Okay, we'll go ahead and cut down another piece. Okay, that tip's a little too big, so we're going to cut him down just a little bit more, because we want to make sure we have a triangle and not a fan effect. So, and one thing, you want to make sure you keep angel wings. So there are some leftover angel wings to use later. We're going to take and we're going to move down to 2 and 3. We're going to insert kind of underneath and at an angle a little bit, and we've got a little tip. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we want to get rid of the angel wings, save those for later. We're going to take and insert this one underneath and a little bit at an angle with a little bit of a tip coming out. Okay, so you can still see we have a triangle effect going on. Okay, now we're moving to 4 and 5. Check in the tip, probably a little long. I'm going to go back and trim some more down. Okay, and we're going to mirror image this one, so right behind, insert him in. Keep that triangle look. Here we go ahead and cut this one, kind of see what this looks like. See, that's way too big, so we're going to cut him down. And that's much better. So we're going to go ahead, insert him, mirror image, right behind that carnation. Just a little bit of a tip coming up, and we still have that triangle look going on. Okay, so we've done 1 through 5. Now we're going to move to number 6. We're going to go ahead and take and we don't want to cover this one up, but we want to have a little bit of tip coming out the top. So we're going to go ahead and cut him. This one gets inserted directly behind number 6, which is a little bit of a challenge because you're having to work in between all that leather leaf. So now we have that because that helps cover the stem, but we're not hiding that carnation over there. Now on 7, 8, and 9, instead of inserting behind, we want to insert in front. This is the focal point. Everything needs to radiate from that area. So we're going to go ahead, cut this one down. And we've got a little bit of a tip there sticking out. So I'm going to go ahead and insert him in, see what he looks like. Okay, just a little bit of a tip sticking out. Same concept, just in the front. Take this one, gonna cut again. Remember, save angel wings. We're gonna go ahead and stick this guy, mirror image here. Got a little bit of a tip there. And then now we are to number 9. And we are going to take him, we're going to stick him right here underneath, support that one. So now I've got all of the pieces mirrored, and I still have that triangle look. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to take, I should have one piece of leather leaf left, and I'm going to take and use some of these angel wings because I've got this hole here, and I'm going to fill that in a little bit. So we want to cover up our mechanics. So angel wings are your best friend. Okay, so that's going to help cover up your foam there. And then if I rotate him to the back, you're going to see foam. Okay, and so we have to use our greenery to help cover the foam. And if you use all these little pieces that we have left, make sure you have enough stem to cover see. I'm just taking and kind of putting it here and there to cover up my foam. Okay, so now you're getting to where you can't see any foam. Okay, no foam showing. You want to make sure that you look at it from the side. Make sure you get any foam covered up there. Okay, so just check your side views. Make sure you got everything covered up. So now we have it greened and we have all the carnations in there. Now we're going to work with the status. So remember, this is the focal point. Everything needs to radiate out of this focal point. This right here is status. Okay, this is a floret. You want this to be going to the outside. You don't want to face it to the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and take and trim all these little pieces off. And we're just going to keep this one floret. So if you hold it up, that's all you see. Okay? You don't want any status above this level. So everything is from here down with status. So this guy's still a little tall. So we're going to take and trim him down some. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to insert him right here in the middle. Where it's radiating out. Okay, we're going to try another little piece. We've got another little floret here, you can see. We're going to radiate him this way. Okay. And remember, this is an accent flower, so you just want just enough to add some color, not these guys are not the main show, so make sure you have just enough for some color. We're gonna add a little bit more right here in this hole. So we're gonna, basically what I did is I created a triangle. We've got some going out this way, some going out this way, and then some facing down. Okay, so we've got our center taken care of, but if you turn it, you've got a hole here. Okay, so we need to fill that hole up. We're going to take, I'm going to cut another floret, and we're going to take and insert him right over here. Okay, and remember, these need to be sunk just a little bit below the carnations, because the carnation needs to be the first thing that you see. Okay, here's another floret. We're going to trim it up a little bit. He's got a little bit of a mess on him. So there we go. We're going to make sure we have it trimmed at a 45. We're going to rotate back. So now you can see we have this focal point where it's radiating out of, and then we have that hole filled up over there. If you rotate over here, we have that hole again. So we're going to take this status, and we're just going to insert him. And if you notice, all my stems are inserting towards the focal point area. So every stem radiates out of that center focal point. So now I've got that hole filled up. And if you look, the arrangement feels pretty complete. Okay, so you've got nice triangle look. You have 9 carnations all making a triangle. And you have a little bit of accent flower status. Okay, but the first thing that you should notice is the triangle shape of the arrangement. Okay, make sure that these two are pulled to the inside, that you don't have a big hole there. So what I may do is just pull these guys in just a little bit. That's really going to square my arrangement. It's going to look nice. Alright, so there is the symmetrical arrangement, and good luck.